Hey everyone, welcome back to Pokemon Reborn. So before I start the last and final part today, I actually have a few announcements to make. So if you'll notice over here, I actually have the Pokemon Reborn forums open, and I'm open to a topic called the last, only, and very final X% hype thread. And I'm open on the 23rd page. If you scroll down, it's about halfway down. You'll find a post by Ame, and basically what she'll say here is that all the TMs have been moved around and are now obtainable before the episode 19 content. That is a massive change. It's really huge, honestly. It's nothing bad, but it does mean that for this playthrough, for this walkthrough, that there's going to be a lot of changes after episode 19 is released. A lot more than I really expected to. And that's big. What that means is when episode 19 comes out, a lot of this is going to be kind of historic. Or rather, a lot of this isn't going to be the same as it was before. And that's fine. You know, the one thing you have to note here is she only mentions TMs, but I imagine a lot of other things are going to be changed around too, which is why I do have a lot of compilation videos that I want to make when episode 19 comes out. And the reason I've been waiting till episode 19 comes out is so they'll be accurate for certain, and I won't have to remake them or anything like that. But what this also means is that a lot of this walkthrough might not be accurate when episode 19 comes out. Which is fine. It's completely fine. When episode 19 comes out, I'll probably make sure that in the description of every video of this walkthrough that it's labeled for episode 18, and the playlist that has all the videos for this walkthrough is listed as sort of historic. That way people know that it may not be accurate for episode 19. I'll be honest, I'm not too terribly bothered because I knew that this was a possibility. You know, someone actually gave me advice to kind of stop recording this for a while and just wait until episode 19 came out. But it just felt really awkward to suddenly stop in the middle of this series and just wait until episode 19 came out. It doesn't matter what happens, I'm going to have to make corrections anyways, so I might as well just finish this playthrough off, and then I can make the compilations later, which will showcase the correct place for TMs, Pokemon locations, and just stuff like that. Anyways, back to this part of Pokemon Reborn, the final part, for now. So starting off on the last part or episode, we actually got to Agate City, and in Agate City you could get the last 2 or 3 starters that you need to have collected all the starters. And that means that you can complete the starter Pokemon Egg quest that is located over here. So this lady over here will actually give you a EV reset disc for every 3 starters that you give her. But when you give her the last and final starter egg, and yes, they do have to be eggs, so if you talk to her again, she'll ask what starter egg it is, and it's going to be water. And it's going to be the last egg, it's going to be the Froakie egg, no less. And eventually, she will give us Shadow Ball, Psychium Z, and the Garchompite. And we're pretty much done with her. I should mention that you won't be able to complete this task unless you've upgraded Azurine Island, which shouldn't be a problem because you've had 2 opportunities to complete 2 restoration projects, and after you defeat Hardy, you can complete all 3, and it doesn't really matter. So that's the egg side quest, and starter egg side quest, I should say. And next up, we're going to go ahead and head on over to Agate City. In Agate City, there is one side quest that we can take on right now. We come inside this room and talk to this lady over here. Say yes to her, just spam through the text, and we will receive a meteor card. With this meteor card, we can go ahead and head back to the Obsidia Ward. Here in the Obsidia Ward, we're going to go ahead and head up north from the Pokemon Center and all the way towards the back entrance of the Devon Corporation trap that we fell into much earlier. With the meteor card ID that we got from the lady earlier, we can unlock these doors and head on down here to the basement floor. This puzzle is most likely the most hated puzzle in the entire game. So from what I know from experience, because I've helped other people solve this a couple times, is that there's about 4 different starting numbers that you could receive. And this right here is my starting numbers. So I can't really help you if you have different starting numbers, because I'm going to be giving like a step-by-step solution if you have the exact same starting numbers as me. If you don't, your best bet is to this is a magic square, and basically what's supposed to happen here is you're supposed to add up every number in each different direction. So over here, you add the top row across, you add the middle row and the bottom row, and then you add them downward as columns, then you add them diagonally, and they're all supposed to equal the same number. And over here, it's supposed to be the same thing, but the solution over here cannot be the same as the solution over here. So they sort of have to mirror each other. So basically, the best thing you can do, figure out your solution, and after you figure out your solution, the best thing you can do is try to solve this by manipulating the bottom row mostly. Unfortunately, that's pretty much all I can offer you if your starting numbers are different than mine. Again, like I said earlier, I don't think there's more than 4 sets of starting numbers. So you have like a 1 in 4 chance of having the same starting numbers as me. Maybe in the future, when I have time, I'll make a compilation video showing all the different solutions step by step and having them in the description. But for now, if you're one of the people that are lucky enough to have the same starting numbers as me, I do have the solution written down and it's ready to go. So for starters, I'm going to move over to the left column and I'm going to move the second one down. In the middle, I'm going to move the second row over left. I'm going to go back to the left column and change the second left column to go up. I'm going to move the second row over right 4 times. I'm going to go over to the right this time and move the third column down 1. Back to the middle and move the second row right 2 times. And move the third row right 2 times as well. Then I'm going to go back to the right and I'm going to move the first column on the right down, I believe. Back to the middle and I'm going to move the third row over left a couple times. I'm going to move back to the left actually and move the left third column up 1, and then go to the right and move the third right column up 1. From there, I want to move the first row over to the right 3 times. I'm going to go ahead and move to the right and move the third column up again. And then move back to the middle and move the first row over to the left, this time 3 times. Back on the right, I want to go ahead and move the first column up 2 times. And then in the middle, I want to go ahead and move the second row to the right. Back at the right, I want to move the first column up once, and then in the middle, I want to move the second row to the left twice. Or actually, no, not twice, just once. Here, I want to go ahead and go back to the right and move the first column down 2 times. And then I want to go back to the middle and move the first row to the right 2 times. I want to go back to the right and move the third column up once. Back in the middle, I want to move the first row to the left 2 times. Back on the right, I want to move the first column down 2 times. And I want to move the second column up once. In the middle, I want to move the third row to the right 3 times. I messed up there. There, I want to go to the right and move the second column up And back in the middle, I want to move the third row to the right. On the right again, I want to move the third column down. And back in the middle, I want to move the third row to the left 4 times. On the right, I want to go ahead and move the second column up and the third column down. And then in the middle, I want to move the second row to the right 4 times. On the right, I want to move the third column up. And then I want to move the second row back to the left 3 times. On the right, I want to go back and move the third column down once. I want to move to the middle and move the second row to the left again. I want to go back to the right and move the third column down again. Back to the middle and move the second row to the left again. To the right and move the third column up this time. To the middle and move the second row to the right this time. And to the right and move the third column down this time. And we're all done and taken care of. Here, there's 2 things you want to do. First off, you want to go ahead and get your rewards. You get immediate rewards in Thunderbolt, the Gardevoirite, and the Dark EMZ. But also, you want to go from left to right and collect the 6 white numbers. So for me, I have 1, 3, 9, 7, 4, 9. And that's what you will bring back to the lady over in Agate City. Back here in Agate, you can talk to the lady and she will allow you to give her the code. And once you get the code right, you can actually move on back here. I can move. And there's also the Manectrike all the way back here. And if we go ahead and talk to the lady, she will go ahead and inspect the place before giving us the last department store sticker that we can receive in episode 18. So that means we only have 1 more sticker left and we can actually access the Penthouse Suite. So that's pretty neat, and that pretty much leaves 1 last objective for this episode. The gym. So over here at the gym, we're going to go ahead and enter. I actually already took care of all the trainers in here. There's only 3, but there is a really neat puzzle here. So if you climb up here, you'll hear a bit of a tune, a rift actually, and you can talk to this guy over here and he will actually play the correct rift that you're supposed to hear. So in order to adjust the tune or the notes played as you're rock climbing up there, you need to move these blocks. And you can hear them as you move the block. So the first block up there is only going to be moved once to the right. Same for the second one. Don't touch this one at all. And the one after that you want to move to the right 2 times. We want to move this one to the right 2 times as well. For this one, we want to move it all the way over to the right. For this one, we want to move it almost all the way over to the right. Just leave 2 squares on the other side of it. And for this one, you want to move it kind of towards the middle. So over about 3. And you're pretty much done. So from here, we can go ahead and rock climb all the way up there. Sorry, I felt so bad for talking over the beginning of that, but that was amazing. If anyone's curious, that rift is actually from Purple Haze by Jimi Hendrix. Anyways, before we enter these doors and face off against Hardy, there's a little bit of information that I have to put out there. So we're going to be battling on a rocky field. And while this field may not have a lot of effects, most of these effects are actually pretty brutal. So Pokemon that miss a physical contact move will actually lose 1/8 of their max HP unless they have Rock Head. If you flinch, you lose 1/16 of your max HP unless you have Sturdy or Steadfast. and Rock-type moves increase in base power. I mean, you could have guessed that one. If you put up a substitute or raise your evasion, a Pokemon has a chance to dodge certain moves by hiding behind the rocks. So these moves are Acid Spray or Spear, Barrage, Beak Blast, Bullet Seed, Egg Bomb, Electro Ball, Energy Ball, Focus Blast, Gyro Ball, Ice Ball, Magnet Bomb, Mist Ball, Mud Bomb, Octazooka, Pollen Puff, Rock Blast, Rock Wrecker, Searing Shot, Seed Bomb, Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, Weather Ball, and Zap Cannon. And none of these moves are really moves that you're going to be dodging, so that doesn't really matter. If you have Long Reach for an ability, you also suffer an accuracy loss. And there's only one Pokemon that does have that, which is Decidueye, so that's nothing to really worry about. Other moves that will increase in base power and deal Rock-type damage are Earthquake, Bulldoze, Magnitude, Rock Climb, and Strength. Stealth Rock deals twice as much damage to Pokemon switching in. Rock Smash doubles in power. Rock Polish's stat change increases. So Rock increases in power slightly, in addition to the boost that it already gets from being a Rock-type move. Nature Power becomes Rock Smash. Camouflage turns you into a Rock-type. Secret Power may cause flinching. And the Telluric Seed will boost Special Defense and Evasion, but it damages you with Stealth Rocks. So for the most part, that's pretty brutal. Also, something else to note is that Hardy actually battles in doubles. Anyways, with all that said and done, go ahead and rearrange your party, save your game, and let's head on through. He's pretty nice. He gives us the choice to take our time and prepare for the battle. I don't need that, so we're going to go ahead and face him. I'm going to be honest here, Hardy's actually a pushover. So starting off is his Gigalith. It has Sandstream, Choice Band, Stomping Tantrum, Rock Slide, Rock Smash, Throat Chop. His Aerodactyl has Pressure, but it also has the Aerodactylite. So it becomes Mega Aerodactyl with Tough Claws, Aqua Tail, Rock Slide, Aerial Ace, and Rock Smash. So again, I said he was a pushover, and there is a good reason for this. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and... it doesn't really matter how I take his Pokemon out. So I'll go ahead and hit his Gigalith with a Close Combat, and use a Wide Guard with my own Gigalith. And you're going to see right here why he's a pushover. He loves to spam Rock Slide. But unfortunately, Wide Guard blocks Rock Slide. Almost every single Pokemon on his team is going to use Rock Slide. So as long as you spam Wide Guard, he can't do anything to you. So that's his Gigalith down right there. Next up is his Archeops. Defeat is for an ability, Flying Gym, Rock Slide, Aqua Tail, Endeavor, and Acrobatics. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit this Archeops with a Thunder Punch and continue to spam Wide Guard. And again, just like that, he can do absolutely nothing to me. The only danger here is that you might run out of power points for Wide Guard. That is a slight possibility, but you should have plenty of ethers and elixirs by now, so that's really not that big of a deal. From here, it's his midday Lycanroc. Has Sand Rush, Choice Band, Rock Slide, Drill Run, Rock Smash, and Zen Headbutt. Lycanroc is pretty frail, so I'll go ahead and hit that with a Close Combat and use Wide Guard again. Next up is his Dusk Lycanroc. It's his strongest Pokemon at level 97. It has Tough Claws. It's holding the Telluric Seed. Has Rock Slide, Accelerock, Rock Smash, and Drill Run. And I should be able to knock this out with a close combat, or get pretty close. After that, it is his Rampardos as Sheer Force, Choice Band, or Choice Scarf actually, Rock Slide, Iron Head, Fire Punch, and Rock Smash. So what Sheer Force does is it basically gives a boost to moves that have a secondary effect, but it removes the chance of that secondary effect. So for Fire Punch, it's Burn. For the Rock Slide and Iron Head, it's the flinch chance, and for the Rock Smash, it's the chance at lowering your defense. I'm going to go ahead and continue to close combat that Rampardos and Wide Guard again. And with his Rampardos down, the only Pokemon he has left is his Aerodactyl. So again, I'll just continue to repeat the same combo over and over. And with this, Hardy should be finished. Turns out he is a pushover, unlike his sister. So with that, we get the badge, and we do get the Rock Slide TM. And that's pretty much the last thing that we can do for episode 18. There is something that'll happen if we exit the gym afterwards, and you'll get a little bit of a note from Ame with 3 apostrophes. Oh, this is probably supposed to be glitched on purpose. Yeah, it's supposed to be glitched on purpose. I forgot about that. And then there's a little bit of creepy text right there. And after that, we're finally free. I hope. So anyways, thank you everyone for watching. This is indeed the last part, at least for this walkthrough, for episode 18. There's going to be compilations up when episode 19 drops, finally. And that'll just be covering everything that I need to correct. Things like TMs, Pokemon locations, tough battles, that kind of thing. And for now, I think I'm going to actually move on to Pokemon Rejuvenation. I've been saying that I would, and with this out of the way, for now, I finally can. I'm really looking forward to that. Rejuvenation is actually an awesome game, so I'll see you guys on that. Thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone who commented, everyone who made corrections, and everyone who helped out in general. And thanks for the support. Something I didn't mention, and I've said this only one other time, but I didn't really expect this to get a lot of support. This was something in the back of my head that I wanted to do like sometime last year, because I noticed that nobody else had actually done this. And then someone on the Reborn forums commented that they were looking for something like this, and I finally said, well, if nobody else will, I will. But I only expected it to be like that one other person watching this. I didn't expect like the amount of support that this got. So thank you. And catch you all later.